And we are on.
Alright, the scene is Boris & Co. Publishing House, located conveniently under a bar on 3rd Avenue. Now, coming down the stairs, there are 3 large printing presses, very old, in the middle of the room, and in the back, the dimly lit table on which stands a large wooden crate, awaiting the opening of the clan. Standing at the edge of the table, not yet taken his seat, is Boris, the owner of the publishing house, eagerly waiting the arrival of the rest of his clan so that we may discuss the recent events. You guys want to come in? Go for it.
Well, walking with a purpose, Thaddeus shall make his way. He's been to this location several times. He knows where the meeting will be taking place. Greetings, my friend. It's good of you to be hosting this one. I'm hoping to have the normal meeting room up and running soon.
Very good. I am surprised we are having another meeting here so soon after the last one.
I'm rather surprised we're having a meeting so quickly.
Yes.
I believe that it comes down to the need, don't you? Yes.
So
events have transpired.
Yes. I'm very glad you could make it.
Yes. What have we here? Delivery of some kind?
I would think that you'd know all about the delivery.
Oh, this one is meant to be a surprise for all of us. Let's make sure that the others have arrived first before this little present gets opened.
Yes.
You hear a silent knocking on the door. It seems like someone knocks the door but doesn't want to.
Come in, come in. You've been expected, my friend.
Thank you. I don't leave the haven that often.
Yes, it is safe down in the Warrens, I understand, but currently we need to make use of other havens at this time.
Knock, 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 knock.
Another one. Please get your pet under control. You should consider giving it some more blood. Right. Let me get the door again. Ah, another one arrives.
Hey, how's it going?
Ah, well, I suppose. It's been interesting times and there's much to be discussed. Come take a seat, my brother.
No problem.
Yes.
So how much longer will we be waiting for the rest? I am very eager to get to these proceedings.
I believe we only have one more that is stated he is going to be arriving. There, that would be him. Ah, yes, it's good to see you, my brother. Come inside.
Good evening. Sorry I'm late. I had some kind contacts I need to speak to.
I understand, but it's going to be an important meeting today. We have much to discuss.
Yes.
First, now that we are all here, let us take the top off this box and see what lies within. Soggy reaches over and with the pads of his fingers just kind of digs into the wood and rips the top from the box. The squealing of the nails that hold it closed as they are ripped out of the wood is kind of impressive, and he doesn't look like he's putting out much effort doing it.
For the first few seconds, the box appears to be empty.
What's that? A joke? Empty box?
I was waiting for a present.
And then another skin is dropped, and a very small figure crawls out. Greeny skin stretches, and a couple joints pop audibly. She looks around. The others
Delightful.
couldn't get lit up sooner.
It is a
Right
present
there.
indeed.
The home country.
Come, make yourself comfortable, little sister.
Yes,
The ghost crawls out of the crate.
welcome. Welcome.
Name's Ghost.
Delightful.
It's always good to have another one of the family come to join us. And speaking about family, I also have a gift to present to all of you.
Ah,
Ooh.
I'll be right back. Thaddeus will go outside and call Miss Mayhew to his presence.
Eleanor nods and walks to Mr. Morgan, walks inside. Steps are slow. She looks around, giving a nervous smile, and trying to be very respectful. She looks pretty nervous at this point. Hello, everyone. Hi.
Do
Good evening.
I've made the decision that I would adopt Miss Mayhew and bring her back to her true family.
yes. It is as I had hoped. Yes. Yes. Welcome, young Eleanor. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Soggy. You must be Mr. Soggy, I'm guessing. I'm sorry, I've heard so much about you, but I've never actually gotten a chance to meet you.
Come, take your place at the table here. Yes, I don't believe you will need your box any longer, young ghost.
Nope.
And
I'd
Sawyer
rather burn
reaches
it.
up and grabs the box and sort of sets it down behind him in one
You're a
move.
strong one.
Now we all have our talents, don't
That's
we, my
right.
dear?
That's
Good that
that's
we
sort
have a new family.
Yes, two family members in one meeting. It is a shame that we recently lost one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have that many glad tidings to discuss, so thank you all, young ghost and Miss Mayhew, for ensuring that we are both in a good mood for the
not
decisions
that
that we
young
need to
anymore, I'd
discuss.
say.
Oh no, it's just a phrase of a term. If I remember right, according to the records, you're actually been around for a while, Miss Ghost.
About just a little over a century now. Yeah.
Yes.
Even older than me, then. That's not hard.
Yes.
We all start somewhere.
Indeed. So then, we have much to discuss. Let us get these things done quickly. We do not wish to be here all night. We do not know who may be hungry.
Yes. Let us discuss some old business before new. I unfortunately bear with me today, and he places a large antique urn on the table. These are the ashes of Igor.
Right?
Sluggy
Wouldn't that
reaches
be
out and kind
Hammer
of
Jet?
touches the urn. Ah, Igor.
For those of you that don't know, Igor was a most beloved primogen, and he has recently met his final death.
how so?
We shall discuss that later, but now's the time for you all to pay your respects, and then we shall decide what shall be the next step for Igor's remains.
Yes.
Should we still refer to them as Igor's remains? From what most of us saw, that man was hardly Igor.
Oh, that creature was indeed Igor. He may not have originally been Nosferatu, but I say this. led us most effectively over these last several decades. I say that though he may not have been born of Nosferatu, and I do not say this often, I say that we shall own him Nosferatu in his final death.
Yes. And as for the final location, I've taken a handful of these ashes, and they shall be kept amongst my possessions, as a handful has been given to Archangel, who requested them of me. As to the main contents of this urn, I want answers, I'm afraid. There are two ways for us to get these answers. We could either go and use our contacts amongst the Giovanni, or I can go and present these ashes to the prince, and in exchange for giving them to him, as he seemed a staunch supporter of the prince, I think the prince had quite a relationship with Igor. He might know the answers that we seek.
Very interesting.
I think that it may be so, and I think there may be ways to have our cake and eat it too.
What is your suggestion, Sogi?
A portion of the ashes shall go to the prince. He was a friend. And then the rest, well, it does not take much of one's mortal remains to be an anchor for these Giovanni, from what I've seen. Let us see if they will prove their worth.
Yes.
Igor in death was a friend to the Giovanni, and I believe they would be willing to perform a little investigation.
By all means, they are required to. Igor made various deals with the Giovanni that he had discussed in these meetings. And despite his death, we shall make sure that the Giovanni continue to honor those deals.
We
Indeed.
always collect.
Yes. You may be older than I am, but it appears the Nosferatu ways are the same. Now, speaking of the Giovanni, Boris reaches into a small bag he has next to his chair and pulls out a knife. I recently raided the haven of one Samuel Boucher and found this knife that I believe Igor had sent before his untimely demise. Is it still in our interest to investigate?
I do not know why he wished this knife, but once again, I believe this is something for the Giovanni. I
Yeah.
believed that knife might have been used in some event, and that is why Igor might have wanted the item.
I placed the knife on the table.
Yes, I think this shall be taken to the Giovanni. We shall see if we can have them tell us its history, who this knife has killed, what is it capable of.
It will uncover some mystery or another, no doubt, something that our Igor was working on. Yes, it is. If you will take my advice, we'll continue our relationship with the Giovanni and put them to our best use, while being careful not to make us theirs.
Why not?
Is there any old news, old business that we need to discuss before we move on to new business?
I'm rather eager to move on to the new business if nobody has anything.
I could be fielding later on the old news.
By all
Yes,
means.
I would be happy to show you the city, my dear. I have not had such a delightful surprise in some time.
Well then, the new business. Our Primogen is gone. we cannot change this. A new primogen must be chosen.
Yes, yes. I would suggest, perhaps since the prince has already recognized Archangel as a good candidate for this.
And Archangel was already Igor's protege.
It may be well to accept this and to move along, for the sake of order and regularity.
Very well, there are no objections.
Nobody wants to piss off the crazy.
Ooh.
Very well.
But let us not forget that while Igor was around, Archangel was especially devoted to him. I've heard rumors of a more powerful blood bond between the two. Now, we must admit that we don't want our next primogen to follow in the footsteps of Igor.
Well, that's where the next part of our decision comes in, as if Archangel's to take the primogen position, a new whip must be chosen. The whip is one that will train with and help the primogen along his journey.
Yes. Now, Thaddeus, you have been most helpful in many of these nights. How would you feel about assuming that role?
I've given such thought. By all means, I've had my talks with Archangel in the past, and we have worked well together. I would be willing to take up this role if the other clan deem me worthy of that position.
I would accept Archangel as our primogen under the assumption that Thaddeus would be his whip. Although I have some snaking doubts about Archangel, Thaddeus, I believe I can trust.
Yes, and if you do have thoughts about Archangel, at least I will be able to keep an eye on him for you.
No objections here.
I second that.
I support it too.
Very well, the motion is passed.
Yes, yes, as it should be. And let us make sure that there is no more of these ritualistic tendencies, eh?
I don't approve of such things. They have their place in the scheme of things, by all means. I should inform you that as I have adopted Miss Mayhew, the appropriate bond that exists between a sire and his child has been made.
Yes.
Once their training is complete, I will make sure that she is released from such a bond, but until such a time, it is only appropriate.
Little one then.
Hmm?
You're a little one then. New one.
Yes, I am.
Welcome to the family. Oh, the mirror didn't give you too much a shock.
No, I've gotten over the mirror now, so I'm doing all right.
Yes, I believe both of you will make very nice contributions to our family.
Thank you.
If this is the same ghost I heard about when I was in London a century since, I think we are looking for good things.
Oh, that is good to
I
hear.
did a couple of things there during the Second World War before.
Yeah,
In fact,
most
And of other new business, we need to discuss what is going on with our relationship with the Tremere.
Ah, I have had a word or two to speak. Shall I tell you about it?
please do.
A large number of kindred led by the Toreador, who was assigned to overwatch them, approached the tree, demanding the release, or at least expecting to get answers about the whereabouts of Mr. Shaw. Now, Mr. Shaw may be an enemy to the prince, but I do not think that it was his meaning to deliberately begin a war with Nosferatu, as no one would want such a thing, not even the Tremere.
No one would.
Therefore, I would suggest that it might be best, and this is what I said to the eldest of the Tremere present at the time, that the violence that has happened is a tragedy, and that we shall seek no more. Do I have the approval of my clan and in my words?
Well, I would very much like to have words with Mr. Shaw. I shall trust in your decision on this matter, Soggy.
As far as I'm concerned, he never started anything with the Nosferatu.
Very good.
So it seems.
Now, I'm dragging up old business here, but this is in relation to our standing with the Tremere. Last night I was called by Mr. Cortez of Clan Ventru and Artemis Von Grants, an old friend of mine of Clan Bruja. They wished me to show the Tremere the recording of the fight that took place that fateful evening. We still possess the copy, but it was their place that they asked me to show this the Tremere and see what happened. Now, currently, the Tremere are rather wanting that copy from me for obvious reasons. The copy shows that it was well antagonized, it was the prince that struck first. We need to decide what we're going to do with this information.
I believe
Especially now that they know we have it.
I believe Democles and I might be thinking the same thing here, but is there any editing that could be done to this video that could be favorable?
I thought the same. Why would they know that the prince struck first, when we can change it?
But by all
If
means,
it is to our favor.
by all means, the Tremere have already seen the original
If they have already seen, that will be enough for the Tremere. They only wish the copy to cause further trouble. I say that we delay, in one way and another, handing over a copy. Make it very much worth our while. Make it tactically significant.
Basically, what can we get out of this?
Yes, there's no sense in handing such a thing over freely. And by all means, the original showing I secured the safety of Miss Mayhew from any of their penetrations.
Yes, yes. We can do more. We can get more out of this. We can even use it to power the place and claims of our own when things might get a little nasty.
By all means, Democles, you have your own recording of this.
Of course, I have it in 5 angles.
Excellent. This is something that you can use as very much the sword from which you are taking a namesake from.
Yes.
And of course, if Tremere are not wanting to have peace with us, a little bit of an adjustment here or there can put the opinions of the city rather against them.
I would be so happy to do this, so I hope this will be the case someday.
this brings up the relation. I presume that we will operate on the policy that we support the prince.
Of course. I think the last thing the prince wants from us is any sort of insubordination.
His leadership has been effective these 90 years, and as yet he has not turned upon Clan Nosferatu. Though his words have hurt sometimes, that is nothing. Nothing at all.
Despite the secrets that he may know of Igor, he has not yet broken trust with us.
Just so. If it was his doing to slip in a Malkavian perhaps, or some other clan, as our primogen, it is a delightful joke and deserves a respect.
Since it was done so well, I'm willing to stand behind that statement.
Malks and the practical jokes.
Yes, one that takes 90 years in the offing, though. That takes respect. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Question. So I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of new. I don't want to intrude.
Please speak your mind, Miss Mayhew. This is why we gather.
Well, if the prince had an inside source, and maybe he felt more secure with that idea. Now that he doesn't have one, maybe he might get a little bit more antsy.
Who's to say he won't be looking for a new inside source?
Yes, I think
it is very good that you think of such things, my child. It is most becoming a Nosferatu to have such thoughtfulness in these nights.
Thank you. I was just thinking it was something maybe we should keep an eye on. Maybe be aware of. That's all.
It might also bode well for Archangel that he is already a harpy in the prince's employ, but the prince might bring him closer and respect what Archangel has to say.
It is to be hoped. It is.
Very well. Is there any other new business that needs to be discussed?
This seems satisfactory enough.
Yes, I believe that will do. That will do nicely. Thaddeus, if you could go and find Archangel, perhaps he is making another one of his works of art here or there.
Yes,
and
the last one was
inform
rather
him of
excellent.
Yes, it was. If you will inform him of our pleasure and acceptance in his placement as our primogen, that would be most satisfactory. Yes.
Very, very well. I shall seek him out. It's been a pleasure, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, my child. Until we meet again.
Yes.
Very well.
Come, Ghost, let me show you a few things.
There's a library downtown that's about to have a very unfortunate fire. They have some very rare books that I would like to go take a look at. If you will.
Careful if you play with fire. Always take a step.
Indeed, let us go and clean out anything worth anything, yes.
Very well. Now, if you will excuse me, my friends, I must be off. You clean up after yourself.
Good night, good night.
You wanted to show me something, Sophie.
Ah, yes, the city. Behold its wonders. Come, I'll show you around the underground and where everything is. I'm sure one of your talents will be able to mind it all. Yes, and one or two places to stay away from. Bad sorts over there. Yes, indeed, yes. Come,
just make sure I'm not seen.
That's right. That's right. Come, this way, this way.
Ghost follows.
Scene.
All right.